Hi everyone, it's Kevin my Postage channel. Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today's video will be previewing our Anzac Day clash against the Bombers. If you are returning Kevin my Post, welcome, like, comment, share. If you're new to the channel, watching this for the first time, like, comment, share and subscribe. Now round 7 is upon us. Let's get into it, shall we? Collingwood and Essendon. Look, I talk about the history of it, like it doesn't matter where these two sides are on the ladder. It feels like, to me, that being at an Anzac Day game is so unreal. I know of my personal experience to witness so many of them, like 2018, 2019, 2021, 2022, 2023, and 2024. Like, it's such a massive, that last post, the minute silence, it is everything. It is super, super crazy. So for me, it's always been a crazy experience. It's a good experience. I recommend anyone who hasn't been to an Anzac Day game, go. Get tickets early, go. Because what it does do is that you think there might be someone that may play up. There's none. Everyone's on their best behaviour. Everyone respects Anzac Day. It's massive in my heart. But knowing what we know about Anzac Day, it is super crazy. And we know for a fact that Collingwood and Essendon fans always rock up. Doesn't matter what happens. Man, Essendon can be terrible like they were in 2016. The fans going to rock up. Because it's Anzac Day, right? You're going to show up regardless of what happens. Even when we were down for 4 years, we still showed up. 2021, we had a bad year. We still showed up for Anzac Day. Even when you look at last year, when it was a draw, it was a crazy experience to witness. So, I think for me, we know exactly what we're at. I know what we're going to get out of this game. But having said that, we are literally 5-1 for a reason. The only loss that we've had was against the Giants. And I think because of the way that Essendon did play, 3-3, we're 5-1. So that's probably the reason why. But we'll go into last time these two sides met. It was round 17, 2024, when they won by 2 goals and when they dominated. And then it felt like when we were 28 points down, we went on and drew the game. And that was for me when Carl Langford had the chance to kick, to put them in front. He missed. So it is going to be crazy. We know exactly what's going to lead to that game, but it's really good experience on Anzac Day. That was the only draw that we had. But I'm gonna go through the game, and I'm wanting to talk about the stats, right? The team stats, and this is different to on what we do compared to what Essendon do. And I'll talk about training in a minute, right? So the average disposal is 396 to 318. Kicks 225 to 188. Handballs 171 to 130, so they're handballing more. 55 to 53 inside 50s. But disposal efficiency is 78% compared to us 73%. Our goal efficiency is higher, 22% from 12 goals from 53 inside 50s to 21% 12 goals from 55 inside 50s. Average free kick counts is level, but we are 31 to 25, and that's normally Draper. That's when he's no longer there, so he's out injured. So it would be Todd Goldstein up against probably Darcy Cameron and Mason Cox. 40 to 23 in the clearances, that's when they dominate. But I feel like our midfield can really even that or win the clearances in that aspect. 19-8 centre clearances, stoppage clearances, 21-15. But they are having more contested possessions, 134 to 113, 249 to 193 in particular, 73 to 63 turnovers, and then the intercepts are 73 to 63 as well. Time of possession, mate, we know what that means. It's 45% to 40%, 45% to 38% this quarter. In the last 10 minutes, they're 9 to 35%. They're averaging 102 marks, but we're averaging 79 marks. 11 marks apiece inside 50, 4 marks inside 50, and contested marks 13 to 10 as well. And that was our lead. That was the Anzac Day draw that we had. So I think for that stat, it was obviously a lot different. But that was 2024 in that draw. But this year's a lot more different, right? This year's definitely a lot more different. Average age, 25 compared to Essendon 23. 105 average games to 71, 189 centimetres apiece. Average disposals is 388 to 360, 216 kicks to 205, handballs 171 to 155. Inside 50s is a lot, 56 to 50. Disposal efficiency average is 72% to 74, so they did well in that. 23% from 13 goals and 56 inside 50s, 24%, 12 goals and 50 inside 50s. Free kick counts are even. Hit outs, 38 apiece. 40 to 39 clearances, and that's the average stoppage averages. 12 centre clearances apiece, 26 to 28 stoppage clearances. 132 to 130 contested possessions, 247 to 218, 60 turnovers to 63, and average intercepts are 65 to 61. Our best 22 is 4,642. Our predicted 22 is 4,928. While for the Bombers, the best 22 is 4,642. Predicted is 4,202 as well. They're averaging 91 marks, 82, so that's one way that we need to really lower that for sure. 12 to 10 marks inside 50, contested marks 9 apiece. Tackles 60 to 58, 11 to 9 tackles in the 450, 10 bounces to 6, 44 to 36 1%ers. We're averaging 69 interchanges as well. Now for me, one thing that we have done so well is that we blocked off the corridor. I feel like we've done that a fair bit. I feel like when I have watched us train that you see us blocking that corridor so teams can't go in and we're forcing the opposition to go out wide. So we are working very hard on that, right? And that's probably the reason why that we are doing that so well, that we're first and now 11th coming out of this. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what we do this year. I will be at this game. So one thing I want to talk about is obviously restricting Essendon's marks. If we can keep them under 80, I think that's a win. One thing that I want us to do is to force them into a contested game. We know that they're very good as an uncontested team, but we need to restrict Essendon's uncontested possessions, and then we need to attack Essendon a fair bit, force them to kick long down the line, force them to contested possessions, force them intercept marks, and also get the out of bounds and boundary throw-ins as well. So that is probably the reason why that we are where we are at the moment. But I'm really looking forward to what we do. So we need to restrict Essendon a fair bit in the marks. And that can definitely be a win-win for us as well. Now, pretty much when we train with this intensity. We train with, okay, let's put pressure on the opposition. Let's not fake this. Let's just do it. Let's just get the job done. Let's just set up. Get everybody set up is so perfect. And that's what it will work as well. So if we can do that, it does go a long way for us to really win the game of football. So now's the time for us to really attack Essendon and see where they're at as well. My top 5 this week, number 5, I'm going to say our defence. Now, there's no Darcy Moore. It's been confirmed. He's out. So you think Big Billy Frampton, maybe Charlie Dean might get the game. Who knows? I think it might be Charlie Dean, Billy Frampton and Jeremy Howe. So we've still got big experience in defence. And therefore, we need to really put Essendon under a lot of pressure. We know Carl Langford can play up forward if he does play. And we know that Peter Wright will be the main target as well. Goldstein might go forward. So Darcy Cameron, if Mason Cox does play, go back and take the intercept marks as well. And really we can try and set up and get our running game going as well. Number 4 is the midfield department. We need to dominate the midfield against Essendon. We need to make sure that we win the clearances, we win the hit-outs. Now, like I said, when we're averaging 38 hit-outs apiece, against the guy like Todd Goldstein, which we know that he is playing this week because, again, Draper's out and Nick Bryan's out, that we must dominate the hit-outs. Let's overwork Essendon's ruck situation. Let Darcy Cameron and Mason Cox play, in particular, really look like, okay, we're dominating the hit-outs department and we're winning the clearances as well. And if you've got Peter Wright doing a bit of the ruck work, test him out. He's not much of a ruckman. He's much of a forward. So for me personally, I think we need to make sure that we look after that situation, and our midfield department needs to get on top of Essendon's midfield as well. Number 3 is that forward line. Now, what I've seen from training, I think Membry will get back in. That is a given. I think Cox may play this week, but I'm really looking forward to that. We must put the pressure in our forward half, must keep the ball inside our 450, and we must take an advantage of it as well. So that's probably one way to really look at it. And obviously now is that we've got to force Essendon's defence to panic. We know that there's not much of a run and attack. We know that they've won the last couple of weeks, and I know all about that, right? We're not underestimating Essendon. We can't afford to. Fans think, oh yeah, you look at Essendon, they shoot, that sort of thing. But they won against Quayle, they won against Melbourne. They just got on the line against West Coast, but we have been dominating sides. So if we can restrict Essendon to a fair bit, I think it does go a long way for us to win the game. When we keep teams under 85 points, we win. If they're over 85 points, more likely not, they will win. So we need to even run on 85 points. So we really need to make sure that we put Essendon under a lot of pressure and really take full advantage of it as well. So I'm really looking forward to that battle as well. Number 2 is the selection. There's no Anzac Merritt, I'm pretty sure. Or Darcy Parish, I should say. So he's not really going to make an influence. Selection, I think this week, Howe will be out. But I think Charlie Dean will come in. I think Cox will keep his spot. I think Membry will need to come back in. He was in the black today, but again, that could be anything. That could be like, oh, someone's going to be in the black, someone's going to be in the white. I think he'll come in for maybe Sullivan. Oh no, not Sullivan. I mean Ed Allen, potentially. I think them the two that we probably will expect. And then we have another thing too where we'll see more where these teams are as well. They're the main two that I can think of. Charlie Dean in, McStay and Membry definitely in. I think Cox does keep his spot. I think we may go with Mycheck, McStay and Membry, and Cox as the second ruck. I think one thing that we do really well with Cox and Cameron in is that they both can do ruck. So I think that's what we'll look at. For me, Will Hoskin-Elliott can stay up forward, like that wing, that half forward, half back row, if we really need to. I mean, he can play that role for us if we need to. I think it will probably have him up half forward, but don't be surprised if he's in the back line as well. And like I said, it's so crucial for us to really win this game as well. And then number one is what game plan tactics. I talk about this a fair bit. Because we've been working on... So the game plan for me, right, is we attack Essendon through the corridor, defensive 50 transition, get our game going, win the clearances battle, win the contested and uncontested battle, possessions battle, and then let's get it inside 50. When we did lower our eyes, we were so good. So we need to keep doing that, and that gives us a chance to really win a game of football. But having said that too, tactically, I would force Essendon to go long down the line, block off the corridor, do not let them have any run through the corridor. If they get a goal to, do not panic. Let's get a couple back like we did. And that way we can start to build momentum. We know Essendon's going to get some momentum, but let's slow them down personally and let's get that running game going. When we need to go slow, we can kick, mark, right, and get these uncontested marks game going. And therefore, when there's a loose play free inside 50, we can peel that option because they'll think, Membry, McStay, Cox, Mycheck. They're not going to expect like Nick Dacos getting down there, taking a mark inside 50, or Tulsi coming. You know what I mean? Like it's rare that teams will do that. We did that a fair bit where the Whites were under a lot more pressure. Didn't know who to stop in that situation. So again, it does boil down to what we do. But I'm really looking forward to the game that we've got as well. So that's what I'm guessing that we'll do. It's such a big week. Big game. These two sides, Anzac Day, it's perfect. Now, I want to go through, before I do my tips, right, let's go to the form slump between the two teams. So, technically, we have won 3 games of the last 5. There's been a draw, and then obviously Essendon winning by 12 points as well. So, having said that, we have done really well against Essendon. Now, we've won 17 Anzac Day games, right? If you go back in time, right, from 2009 onward, 2010 onwards, I'm pretty sure that in 2020 there was none, but we have dominated that. Like, we've won 2010, 2011, 2012, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2018, 2019, 2022, 2023. So we are due for a win here. I reckon we are so much due for a win. We've played so well. Yeah, I cannot wait. Tips. I think this will be a bit close with what people think. I'm going to say Collingwood by 19 points. I think it's a 3-goal game. I will not be surprised if we smash Essendon. I will not be surprised. On what I've seen from training today, I will not be surprised if we smash Essendon on what we've done. So, it was a really good session. Not going to do any tips video. I've been, mainly now with this VFL, VFLW. Want to get them out as well. Hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget to drop a like, also drop a sub. Till next time, bye for now.